guys, it's Lemon Hosting, and welcome to my first ever review on the channel. Now, as you guys probably remember, I gave you a little hint of the game that I was going to be reviewing by adding just a tiny little image on the screen. I'm going to do it again. Boop. And if you saw the title of this video, you probably know what it is. Yep, I am reviewing Half-Life 1. This game is considered to be a masterpiece by so many people on the internet. They even call it revolutionary for first-person shooters. And now I'm here to see if this game deserves to have the title masterpiece, or if it deserves to have its hazard suit taken off and thrown into a radioactive power plant filled with these fucking things. Full disclosure, I played and beaten Half-Life 2 about a month or two before I started playing this game. I didn't play the episodes after 2 because I wanted to make this video, and also, I thought it would be cool to have some kind of prequel effect. The game starts off with you in a tram, playing as this guy called Gordon Freeman, who has a giant-ass shotgun in his hand while he's staring into your soul. Now, normally, I would be terrified of this man. Then I realized he's a nerd with those big-ass glasses on his head. And it looks like I was right, because he's a scientist with a PhD in theoretical physics. I wonder how that would work. I have a theory that if I jump from this building to the next building, then I will land safely on my feet. Oh, my theory was wrong! And my position is a research associate! I did all those years of college just to become a fucking associate? I shit you not, this tram takes so fucking long just to get to my location. Why does it take so long? It takes 5 minutes! 5 minutes to get out of this tram! In the tram, you even see G-Man. And wow, he's seen better days. Never mind. I go inside the Black Mesa facility, and let me just say this. Everybody here is a complete douchebag. This guy literally greets me, and then 1 second later, when I try to talk to him, he says he's fucking busy.
Greetings. I can't be bothered right now.
And then I see G-Man talking to some dude in a room that I can't even get into. This is the second time I've seen this man. What the fuck is he doing here? He's not even dressed up as a scientist. Is there something happening behind the scenes? And speaking of that, everybody looks exactly the same. This dude's fucking twin is in the same exact room as him. What kind of fucked up building is this? This dude legit tries to order a drink, but he can't get it to work. And then when I try, I get it the first try. Ooh, looks like Gordon took with his hand. Finally, I get this ugly, orange, puke-filled outfit called the hazard suit. And guess what it does? It gives you a HUD. Holy shit, if that isn't revolutionary, I don't know what is. And now I need to go to this place called the test chamber. Something literally goes wrong 10 seconds before I even enter the chamber. What kind of normal human being would ever step foot in the chamber at that point? Gordon, are you fucking fried? And guess what? This dude says this.
Overhead capacitors to 105%. It's probably not a problem.
I'm sorry, but did you just say probably? I literally have to wear a hazard suit to protect me from the radiation, and you're saying the experiment will probably be okay? And Gordon with his fried fucking brain is completely fine with us, so I guess let's just see how this plays out. Ooh, wishy lasers. They want me to push this cart into the middle of this giant dildo. Oh, okay, I guess we'll be fine. I trust scientists. Oh shit, this doesn't look normal. I'm out. Fuck this shit. And then we see some aliens spawning into the facility, and even me being transported to alien worlds. Not gonna lie, this shit creeped me out. Especially when this alien was going for a hug. And that was the first chapter of the game. Wow, was that a journey? Now that I'm done with that, let's get to the review section of this game. Let's talk about the game's graphics first. The graphics look like if a Commodore 64 took a shit, but honestly I wasn't expecting it to look amazing seeing how this game was made in 1998. And in terms of voice acting, it's not that bad for 1998 standards.
Sorry, Mr. Freeman, I got explicit orders not to let you through without your hazard suit on.
It's definitely better than Resident Evil 1.
You're right.
It's so weird to think this game is 23 years old, and people still hold it up in high regard like it's the messiah of first-person shooters. It goes to show how much impact a game can have on a genre, no matter how old it is. Now, what do I think about this game? I mean, that's why you guys are here, right? Well, I'm going to be diving into major spoilers for everything about this game. So if you don't want any spoilers of any kind, leave this video immediately. Or skip to this timestamp so you can just hear my thoughts on the game, like in a short little summary. 3, 2, 1, Morgan Freeman. When we're talking graphics, I'm kind of mixed on it. The characters look disgustingly bad in this game. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like a low-res Dr. Wily, and this guy looks like if Dr. Kleiner from Half-Life 2 was on crack. They even recycle characters over and over and over again because of the hardware limitations. However, the graphics actually work to the game's advantage in my opinion. I say this because worse graphics can make a game scary depending on if they're trying to make a scary game. And this game surprised me because it actually scared the fuck out of me in a lot of parts. It's extremely scary when you're in the dark-ass van and a headcrab comes out of nowhere and tries to fuck your head. The character designs might not be good, but the enemy designs are amazing. The aliens in this game are either very scary or very intimidating. Headcrabs are these tiny spider-like creatures that try to hump your head. Zombies are the scientists from the building. turn into vessels for the headcrabs. Both of these designs are creepy, and the bad graphics make them look gritty and dirty, which I think works perfectly for what the game is trying to do. There's even the scary part right here where this dude is getting turned into a zombie. And I'm gonna let you guys know that when I saw this, I was playing in a pitch black room. So this shit was likely to give me nightmares. But you also feel bad for the guy. He's over there suffering and there's nothing you can do besides either run away or put him out of his misery. The visuals and lighting for this game are amazing for the cramped underground facility that this game is trying to imitate. At least for the first half of the game. When I was going into this game, I wasn't expecting any kind of horror at all. The second game was very light with its horror, but this game tries going for some kind of mix, like a combination of Resident Evil and Doom. The best way I can describe this game is a survival horror first-person shooter, which I don't even think is even a thing anymore. We even see some aliens with really unique designs, like this alien that has a huge lump on his head, but then you realize that's his fucking eyeball. And this one looks like if a Demogorgon was a dog. We even got a fucking Juggernaut who has a ball sack for a head. And if you thought that wasn't enough, we even got the fucking military trying to kill us because they want this accident on the hush so no one knows about it. And the only way they can do that is by killing everybody that was involved in the Black Mesa accident. Now, I hate these guys. They never miss their bullets. And they always come in packs, like multiple of them. Damn you, government! So yeah, the graphics, lighting, and design are perfect for this game. And I couldn't ask for anything better, honestly. Now, let's talk about sound effects. Wow, this game has amazing sound effects for 1998. The headcrabs make the screeching noise when they try to jump at you, which is only spookier when you're in a dark vent. The zombies make zombie noises? But hey, that usually does the job, so I'm not even gonna complain. The lumphead aliens make this sound that scares the fuck out of you, and it also lets you know, run for your fucking life! But besides from enemies, the guns in this game sound fantastic. It doesn't even take you that long to get the trusty crowbar that people would associate this game with. Another thing, I hate it. It barely does shit to the enemies except for the headcrabs, so it's basically worthless if you ever want to use it for damage purposes. Which is why it's even more satisfying when you get your first gun in the game. The pistol. The pistol sounds super smooth and the damage it does is usually not that bad. I'm playing on easy mode and it takes about 3 shots to the head to kill a zombie. That is pretty goddamn sick, I'm not even gonna lie. The shotgun in this game is my fucking baby. When you shoot it, it sounds like you just let a savage beast into the wild. And it's fucking everybody up. The damage is so good that I use on about every enemy I see. Especially these aliens that shoot lasers out of their hands. Wow, now I see why Gordon's always holding that shit. He probably even sleeps with it. I know I would. You even get an AR. And believe it or not, I hated it at first. But wow, I am wrong. It is super useful. And the sound for this thing is uncanny. Like, listen to this. Same thing with the revolver. Hit it at first, but loved after spending more time with the game. Look at me going to town with this thing. Like, oh my god. Look at this sexy reload animation. So smooth. Oh, makes me go squirt in my pants. Okay, now let's talk about the controls. The physics in this game are extremely weird. Look how fast you walk without holding shift to run. And not only that, but it's very slippery. Look how many times I died trying to get off this fucking thing.
You're going to have to leave me here, Gordon. This is as far as I go.
And holding shift doesn't even make you run. It makes you walk slow as fuck like CSGO. I don't really use it because crouching does the job for me to not slip. And it helps me get low cover. You also have to do a lot of platforming, which feels good in this game, despite the slippery nature of just fucking walking. You have to dodge bullets, mines, and even a fucking minigun. Why the hell would they need this in the building? It's not even reliable because it locks onto everything. Even the people that it's supposed to protect. Who designed this building? Since this is a PC game, aiming feels super accurate and on point, depending if you know how to play shooters on a PC, that is. You can switch guns and your crowbar by either pressing the numbers on your keyboard or by using the scroll wheel on your mouse. I like using both equally, but the keyboard numbers are usually what I prefer. I like this method of switching weapons because it feels fast and it doesn't stop the pacing of the game. You see, games like GTA 5 slow down the game so you can pick your weapon, which, I don't know, it kind of destroys the momentum of the game for me. The controls for this game are solid, and the only thing I would change is the shitty walking physics. No, seriously, why the hell is it so slippery? Have you had too much to drink, Gordon? Oh, look, it's Juju watching me again like the creepy motherfucker he is. On another note, let me talk about the map design. The chapters are pretty straightforward, and I rarely get lost. And even when I am, it doesn't take me that long to figure out where to go. One of the few times I got lost was in chapter 6, where we needed to blow up this tentacle monster. But first we needed the power, fuel, and the oil on. And that means traversing through this prick. But the problem is that this dude tells where your movement is at all times. The only way I was able to get to the bottom floor to turn on the power was by distracting him with a grenade and then making a break for it. When I came back, however, I needed to get away from him once more, but the grenades were doing nothing. So I decided to just look up a guide for this part. And apparently I needed to sneak past him by crouching? How the hell does he not notice he has 3 fucking heads but he can't see Morgan Freeman crouching around? So yeah, I don't really have anything to say about the map design, at least for the first half of the game. It's just solid designing. It's not really memorable, but hey, it's not bad. And that's the good part. It's not annoying to traverse through. At least for the first half of this game. Wait till I get there, guys. Now I'm going to talk about some funny things that happened to me in this game, and also some things that really stood out to me while I was playing the game. This funny thing happened to me in Chapter 7, where the alien Juggernaut was blocking my path, so I needed to kill him. However, when I died and came back to the root, he was just gone. It made it much easier to get out of this chapter, trust me. I had no idea how to kill him, and I felt like I was just wasting bullets on this guy. He was a tank. I even saw G-Man, the blue-suited hombre, looking at me from the window and not helping me once again. Who are you, buddy? Now let me talk about this chapter for a hot minute. On a rail. Whenever I hear people say anything bad about this game, this chapter usually comes into the negative conversation. After playing it, I have to say this chapter is a lot of goddamn fun. I was kind of scared when I saw the name of it because, you know, of the popular opinion that it was garbage. I heard it a lot, trust me. But I really like the level design, and the pacing never stops. You're literally on a rail for about 95% of the chapter. But what I love about this rail is that you can adjust the speed. I am so glad they didn't decide to have a fixed speed on this fucking thing and either make it super slow or super fast. You control this rail the whole time you're on it, which I find very original. And also, it gives you just a lot of choices on how you want to approach things. Do you want to slow down so you can shoot this dude? Or would you rather rush past him? Or would you rather stop, get to where he is so you don't waste a shit ton of bullets trying to get him? This chapter gives you a lot of freedom, and it's also really straightforward. The main issue that people have with this chapter is that it's confusing and you're always lost because of the convoluted map design. But I actually found it to be the complete opposite. Most of the puzzles consist of your rail being stuck in a spot, so you need to get off your rail and search around the area to find the button or lever to unlock it. Sometimes the puzzle can just be you're going around in circles and you need to shoot these things to change a rail direction. It's not really headache inducing. So yeah, I never really got lost in this level. Like if I was, well, on a rail taking me to my destination. The only thing I found annoying in this chapter was that the rails are electrified. And at the end, you'll launch a fucking missile in the air. Do I even need to say anything more about this chapter? This chapter is solid, man. And I just wish it got more love from the community. Now if you thought that one was good, this chapter is fucking amazing. Apprehension. This chapter is one of the scariest chapters in the whole game. You got this big ass alien fish that I swear to God gave me a heart attack when I saw it underwater for the first time. And this part where it was basically a shadow, goosebumps a galore. And look at that, the crossbow does so much damage to this dude. Gotta go this way, and wait a minute. It's it, dude! These aliens wouldn't stop appearing, and that shit kept making me jump out of my damn seat every time I hear that teleporting noise. And there are these weird ass dudes that are trying to shoot me with silence pistols while wearing these rubber suits. I was scared and confused, but I also thought it was funny because it reminded me of the Rubber Man from American Horror Story. And finally, the end of the chapter, which is just a cherry on the terrifying top. The military dudes knock you out and you gotta escape from this thing. So I'm trying to get up here and holy shit, the walls are closing in. It's giving me an urgency to get the fuck out of here. And I died shortly after, but then I got to the top, grabbed my crowbar, and escaped. Woo, that chapter was awesome. And it was only 20 minutes. Whoever made this chapter, man, you deserve a raise. This chapter called Residue Processing is basically a platformer's dream. The name of the game is Hope You Know How to Jump. This really tests your jumping and crouch jumping skills. Like in this point, we need to get all the way down to a specific conveyor to get to this thing, and then jump your way left and right like a fucking pro, and then jump your way to the ladder using the old-fashioned crouch jump. And then bam, chapter ends. There's literally no scary things that happen in this chapter. Except for when the soldier glitched into me. I guess he wanted to see how Gordon's insides feel. I like this chapter because since the controls for this game are solid and I'm a professional Garry's Mod PC player, it didn't take me long to beat it. Now this chapter called Questionable Ethics has this really cool buff alien that I accidentally let out like an idiot. But besides that, this chapter isn't really anything that special, so moving on. Now guys, here we are. I'm basically gonna be ranting for the rest of the video. Why? Because I hate the second half of this game. The second half is a bunch of bullshit with shitty enemy placement, shitty level design, and shitty everything, man. I'm gonna talk about a chapter that I despised playing this game. Surface tension. Surface tension filled me with so much anger that I never knew I would feel from a Half-Life game. This chapter started pretty good in the beginning. I had this cool weapon that straight up demolished any helicopters that tried to kill me. And you even got the amazing rocket launcher later on down the road. You even got mines, which scared the shit out of me because if I stepped on them, baboosh. But the latter half of this chapter is one of the worst things I have ever played in this game. I started dying from mines way too much than I'm supposed to. It pissed me off to the point where I wanted to stop playing. But I wanted to finish this chapter, and I wanted to finish it, you know? Like, you just have that urgency, like, come on, one more, just one more. But then look at this bullshit. If you shoot a mine, you are fucking dead. And you have head crabs that can trigger it by jumping, so that pissed me off. Once I finally got out of there, I thought, wow, that's the end of that chapter. Nope! You got more bullshit, like tanks! These big boy aliens that are so annoying because they use so many of them at once, and they hit hard. I was stuck in this part forever because I thought I needed to shoot down this plane only to find out I needed to blow up this door instead. And guess what? The chapter is still not done. The amount of times I had to use this guy to open a door for me is uncanny. You are basically escorting him to the place where you need him. And the only thing I like from this was that he unlocked a sick-ass armor that gave me so much ammo than I really needed. I finally got the motherfucker to the end, and now I have to be done, right? Right? Nope! That's still not the end of this godforsaken chapter! Now I have to blow this shit up right here while this bitch is following me. And it's impossible. You have to hurry up and nuke that shit before this dude comes. And if he comes to where you are and you're still not done nuking this part, then just die and start over because this dude will end your life real fast. And then after that, you are finally done with this chapter. This chapter took me an hour and 15 minutes to beat. People thought On a Rail was dragged out for too long? This chapter took me twice as long to finish, and it wasn't enjoyable at all. What I did really like about this chapter was that it did give you tension, but I think it gave you too much tension. Another thing I liked was that we finally saw the goddamn Half-Life logo for the first time, with the title Lambda Complex on top of it. Surface Tension is without a doubt one of the worst chapters in this whole game, bro. I hated it. Now let's talk about more shitty chapters, like Lambda Core. You have to travel around this fucking factory where every area looks exactly the same. And then you have this shitty puzzle in the end where you have to teleport all the way to the top. But there are multiple ports. So it's just trial and error until you get to the right exit. And it took me way too long to find the bullshit exit. I hate this puzzle. And the amount of times I died or gone into the wrong port at the wrong fucking time is too much to count. But what really surprised me about this chapter is the two things that you actually get at the end of it. It's like a reward for all the bullshit that you just went through. You got an alien hand. Like, look at this. This thing not only looks cool, but it does this projectile shit that these guys do. Now I can give these aliens a taste of their own medicine. You also get this long jump power, and I seriously had no idea how to use it. I had to look it up, and apparently you needed to crouch just a little bit before you jump. Like this, for example. I wish they would teach me this shit, but guess not. The next chapter is called Zen, and when you get into this chapter for the first time, you are greeted with you in fucking space. What? Now this is where you can use the long jump to your advantage. Look at that. It just feels so good. But the chapter is way too short. You could beat it in about 3 minutes if you already know what to do. I spent 10 minutes because this final puzzle really got my head fucked up. I had no idea what to do. I tried shooting it, but it didn't do anything, so I just looked it up, and it turned out I needed to do something so complex that it boggled my mind. I needed to press E on these things. I felt like a fucking moron. I literally tried everything besides pressing E, and it was just so simple, man. Like, how I never figured it out was beyond me. Now, Gonax Lair is a very weird chapter. You're in an alien world, which, it looks so cool, man. Because we've been underground for like half the game, so it's really cool to see something different. The only way to continue on your path is to deal enough damage to this Gonarch. At least I think he's a Gonarch. And so then he can break these things. Now the Gonarch is not that hard, it's just that he shoots these annoying little things that won't stop lunging at you. Ugh. But the hard part is dealing damage to this guy. You need to shoot his balls enough to the point where the dude has had enough. It's ammo wasting, but hey, it gets the job done. And this guy blows up at the end, so woohoo, that is sick. Now this chapter, Interloper, I hate this fucking chapter. You thought surface tension was bad? This chapter is disgusting. It's tedious, it's long, it's confusing, it has so many enemies waiting to fuck you over. This is when the enemy design starts becoming bullshit. These motherfuckers do so much damage and they are really common in this chapter. I already had bad feelings in the beginning of the chapter where you have to go on top of these stingrays and they lead you to a portal. But you have to do this while these bitches are shooting at you with the very precise lasers that seem to never miss you. And these bitches that fly around and shoot balls at you like this bug from Hollow Knight. It's annoying. It's not fun. I don't understand why they keep fucking you up. This alien world is supposed to be cool. They fuck up everything about the alien worlds. This factory is terrible. It has so many enemies. And you have to get to the top, so fall damage is a bitch, huh? And once you finally make it to the top, you'll go to a portal which takes you here. And I'm not gonna lie, creepy as shit. I like it. What I do like about this chapter is the story aspect of it. I haven't really talked about the story much because this game barely has one. Besides, get the fuck out of Black Mesa. But this chapter has a really creepy vibe in it. In some parts, you can hear a dude talking to you. And I think this voice is coming from the actual aliens. There's this part where the aliens don't attack you. That is if you don't attack them first. And I think they talk to you. Like, look at the scene. It's very unsettling. I think they are saying alone, like you, alone. I don't understand it in the context of the aliens, but it's still cool nonetheless. Even if this chapter sucks, at least they gave me something in terms of lore. Which, I mean, I always like that in my video games. Now I'm going to be spoiling the final boss and the ending of this game. If you guys want to skip this section, then go to this timestamp on the screen. Okay, 3, 2, 1, fetus. Yeah, the final boss looks like a giant fetus. But not gonna lie, he looks exceptionally creepy compared to the other aliens of the game. Now, is this fight good? Or is it shit like how this game has been for a few hours? Well, guys, I'm happy to say that this boss is amazing. He's one of the best chapters in the whole game. This boss, who I think is called the Nihilenth, is a very worthy boss fight. What I love about this boss is that he's fair. He teleports you from time to time so you can heal, and then you can come back ready to fight him. I kept shooting him hoping that I was doing some damage to him, but it felt awesome when I found out that he was getting his power from these crystals. So I needed to obliterate them. Woo, woo, woo. You can see he's starting to get weaker and weaker. He's shooting less and less electric balls at you. And he even cries when you shoot him. It took me a while to figure out that I needed to shoot his head, which was open and weak. He then blows up in an amazing fashion. And that is the end of Wait, G-Man? Yeah, J-Man starts talking to you. Like, actually talking to you. He hasn't done that this whole game, so it's kind of creepy at first. And this is what he says.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit, I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons. Most of them were government property. As for the suit, I think you've earned it. The border world, Zen, is in our control for the time being, thanks to you. Quite a nasty piece of work you managed over there. I am impressed. That's why I'm here, Mr. Freeman. I have recommended your services to my employers, and they have authorized me to offer you a job. They agree with me that you have limitless potential. You've proved yourself a decisive man, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble deciding what to do. If you're interested, just step into the portal, and I will take that as a yes. Otherwise, well, I can offer you a battle you have no chance of winning. Rather an anticlimax after what you've just survived. Time to choose.
So yeah, you get to make a choice of joining his job or not. I decided not to so I could see what would happen, and this unexpected shit happened right here.
Well, it looks like we won't be working together. No regrets, Mr. Freeman.
I restarted the game so I could see what would happen if you did pick the job, and this is what happens.
Time to choose. Wisely done, Mr. Freeman. I will see you up ahead.
Now, I love this ending because, wow, the amount of lore that is just in this one ending is honestly remarkable. This mysterious dude that was following you the whole game is now talking to you, and he somehow is even more mysterious than you can imagine. He can teleport you to places, and he says he now controls the world. It's a weird ending that really makes you think and makes you want to have a sequel so you can see what this dude has in store for you in this new job. Well, guys, now is the time when I need to rate this game. I like the controls, I like the graphics to a horror extent. Shooting things feels great, every weapon has a purpose, G-Man is a lingering presence in this game which fills the place with tension and nervousness, and so much more. This game does the core game almost perfectly, but I do think that this game's second half basically taints the whole experience. I wanted to love this game, but the second half of this game is filled with the most cheap bullshit I've ever seen in a video game. The enemies start becoming annoying, they use way too many of them, the chapters sometimes last a whole hour. Everything about the second half of the game is so unfair and frustrating that I just wanted to beat this game, not because I was having fun, but because I wanted to make this review. A game should never make you feel like you have to beat it just because. You should have the want to beat it, because you love the game and you want to play and discover more about it. But the only thing this game made me feel was to turn it off and skip to the next game. While the final boss was amazing, it didn't save the game for me. However, I can't say the whole game is bad. The first half is amazing and the most fun I've ever had with a first-person shooter in a long while. While it sucks this game didn't have much in terms of story, I thought the game was fun enough for me not to care as much as I normally do. So guys, I'm gonna have to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. It was a fun time for a while, but now I want to skip to new and better games. Now guys, I think it's time to say that this is the beginning of a marathon. A Half-Life marathon. The next review I'll be making is Half-Life 2, so if you guys want to watch that, and you guys enjoyed this video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.